Welcome to New Student Orientation for Independence University's online programs. Today, during this video, we're going to present you 4 quiz questions as well as the answers to each of them. The way that you're going to receive credit for attending is by writing down these questions and the answer before you move on with the orientation. Now, an easy way to do that is just to pause the video so that you can write it down. And then after you've completed the entire video and you have all 4 questions and answers, make sure you email those answers to saslc@independence.edu and you'll receive credit for attending. Thank you and enjoy the presentation. Also, a side note, make sure that when you turn in your quiz answers and you email them to saslc@independence.edu, make sure you include your first and last name in the email to make sure that we give you credit for your orientation attendance. We want to know which students attended and who you are. So welcome to Independence University. First, we're going to talk about some of the resources available to help you be successful as an online student. One of the first and foremost is going to be your student advisor. So your student advisor will be contacting you on your second or third day of class. Maybe even a little bit sooner. You'll probably be getting an email from them with your login and password, as well as instructions to attend what's called a walk to class presentation on your first day of school, and that'll help you know exactly what to do that day. So just know that your student advisor will be getting in touch with you shortly before school begins or at the very beginning of school at the latest. Now, who your student advisor is your student advisor is a resource we provide. It's someone who can help to answer any questions that you have about logging into school, completing your homework, and more. So you can contact your student advisor via text, email, or phone call during normal business hours. Now, if you need some help, maybe you have a work schedule that's a little difficult to work around and you're not available during normal business hours, you also can access the Tutoring Center, which is found through SHARC. We'll cover that a little later in the orientation. That's our resource page. Or by calling 801-326-4601. Also, for additional math, English, and writing resources, ask your student advisor and we can get you in touch with them. Now, your student advisor will be working with you through your entire first module of class. That's going to be 4 weeks long. So you'll have a student advisor during your first month to help you get used to school, and you'll have the tutoring center available for you all throughout your entire degree program. Now, to set yourself up for success as an online student, you'll need to make sure that you have reliable access to a computer with the internet. This means you want to have a primary plan, maybe wireless internet at your home and your school laptop, as well as at least one backup plan in case that one falls through. Maybe the internet goes out at your house, or you have some bad weather, or you lose the charger to your laptop and you don't know where you put it. A great backup plan would be the local public library. Most libraries have computers and internet that you can use. Also, local coffee shops, McDonald's, Starbucks, sometimes even local hotels will have wireless networks that you can use as well. Also, you want to create a study schedule and stick to it. So make sure you know what homework is due, when, which weeks, which days, throughout your entire class, and plan around your personal schedule so that you know exactly when you're going to work on each assignment and have them all turned in. It's very crucial that you have every single homework assignment turned in on time, especially during your first class. Another great thing that you can do is to set up a designated study space. So one place in particular where you go to work on your homework. You can also get a study buddy if you have friends or family members who might also be interested in continuing their education. Just give us a call. We'd be more than happy to talk to them. And you can get into the same degree program potentially, and then you can work on your homework together. Now, if you don't have anyone else who's currently enrolled in school with you, you can also connect with different students in your class through your online classroom or through our school Facebook pages, through our tutoring lab, and other resources as well. It's always good to have somebody who is on your team and who's working on the same things you are. Now, you can call, text, or email your student advisor with any questions at any time to make sure that you don't fall behind, especially with your homework and your other class assignments. Some important information is that our college wants to make sure you're doing everything you possibly can to be successful, so we will heavily monitor this first class. We want to make sure that you're showing up to class and turning in your homework on time. So we have what's called a strike policy. If you receive 3 strikes or more cumulatively throughout your first class, you will be removed from class. Now, you can earn 2 strikes by turning in an assignment late or by missing an assignment completely. So for each late or missing homework assignment, you'll have 2 strikes. That means if you have more than one late assignment, you will be removed from class. This is why it's so important to know what your homework is and when it's due. And if you're confused about it at all, just call your student advisor. We'll help you with it. Also, if you're not showing activity by doing the minimum amount of daily checkpoints, which is 4, as required each week, this could turn into strikes as well. So just make a quick note that you need to log in at least 4 times every week. And the way we know you've logged in is by completing a little quiz question called the daily checkpoint. This gives you your attendance credit for the day. So last but not least, if you fail or withdraw from a class later in your program, you will need to retake it and you would be charged for that extra class. So make sure you stay on top of all of your work so that you can complete your degree program in a timely fashion without any extra classes or charges. Now, this brings us to quiz question number 1. How many days per week do you need to log into class minimum? Remember, this is also the minimum number of daily checkpoint questions that you need to complete. So if we go back to that last slide, we talked about it in bullet point number 2. You need to complete a minimum of 4 daily checkpoint questions per week for your attendance. Also, as a side note, 4 is the minimum, but you can participate up to 7 days per week. And that actually gives you the opportunity to earn some extra credit, like a free insurance policy for your grade. So go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, write down this question and the answer, and then press play to move forward. Okay, moving on. You also get to honor your 3 commitments as an online student. Those commitments are to attend class and participate steadily in your classes, to do your best and put forth a strong academic effort, to meet your financial commitment and honor your financial responsibility. And if you find it challenging to meet any of these 3 commitments, let us know and we'll be happy to assist you. Always remember that communication is key, especially during your first month and in working with your student advisor. The online student expectations, as we've started to cover, are that you are expected to log in at least 4 days per week and complete your daily checkpoint question. That's worth 5 points every day. That's found on the main left-hand menu. You scroll down underneath week 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a tab where it says Daily Checkpoint. So you'll click on this tab and then click on the day that it is. So week 1 Monday would be your first day of class. You click on that to complete that day's daily checkpoint. Also, daily checkpoint questions cannot be done early and they cannot be done late. So if you miss your daily checkpoint question by not logging in on Wednesday to complete it, you will not have the opportunity to complete that question on Thursday. Make sure you log in and at the very least every day do a daily checkpoint. Your next online student expectation is to turn your homework in on time and make sure that it's done properly. That's going to be usually about 3 assignments per week. That's pretty much the average. Then post each week's schoolwork by Saturday at midnight Mountain Standard Time of the week. What this means is that if you turn your homework in at 12:01 Mountain Standard Time, that will count as a late assignment, which would result in you getting strikes towards that fall start. Now, you need to also understand that since we're an online school, we have students located in many different time zones. Make sure that you are familiar with Mountain Standard Time because that's the time that all of our courses will be posted in. So if you live in California, for example, you'll be on Pacific Standard Time, which would mean that it's 1 hour earlier where you are, and you'll always need to adjust the time by 1 hour. Also, Central Standard Time is 1 hour, but that's 1 hour difference. And Eastern Standard Time is a 2-hour difference. So if you have any questions about your time zone, you can also talk to your student advisor about that. Know that by posting each week's schoolwork on time by Saturday at midnight, Your grades will be posted by your instructor by Wednesday of the following week. Now, quiz question number 2. What is the name of the quiz question that you complete each day to receive credit for logging in? Remember, you need to complete a minimum of 4, and you can do up to 7 of these questions. Just a hint, it starts with daily and ends with checkpoint. So go ahead and pause the video, write down this question and answer, and hit play to continue. Now, your virtual classroom is called Learning Studio. Learning Studio will bring you to a page like this. You'll reach it by typing in the web address learn.independence.edu. So Learning Studio is the program that we use to run your classroom, and it's a website that you go to on the internet to go to class. To reach this website, any web browser can be used, so you could use Chrome or Internet Explorer or Safari, but we have found that Mozilla Firefox does work the best with the website. If you're having any troubles with Learning Studio, you can reach the Learning Studio Help Desk at 877-740-2213. When it comes to logging into Learning Studio, your login module will look like this. Your login or your username will be your first name dot last name. So if your name was Jane Doe, it would be Jane.Doe, all lowercase. If you have a common name like Jane Doe, you might also have a number at the end. So Jane.Doe and the number 1, or the number 2, the number 3, depending on how many other Jane Does are in the system. So keep an eye out for your login and password email that you'll be receiving from your student advisor. Then your password will be your zip code. So for example, 90210. Now if any login issues come up, please contact your student advisor immediately for assistance. It's very important to log in as soon as possible on that first Monday of school so that we can identify any issues with your login and password. Also remember that you might get that login email before school starts, but your login will not be activated and you won't be able to actually log into class until your start day. Now, once you've logged in, it's kind of like reaching the hallway of a school. You still need to go in the door of your classroom in order to receive attendance. So this is the hallway page. What you're looking for your first class, it'll be CSS 101, and then some numbers and the word psychology of motivation. Now, for almost all of our students, this is the first class that you'll be enrolled in. If you don't see this class, call your student advisor and we can help you out. But for everyone else, just click on that CSS 101 link and that'll bring you into your classroom. Once you're inside of your classroom, you'll be located on the announcements page. It's important to check this page every day and read the messages to get new information from your instructor as well as the course administrators. Some other important things to look for on this home page are the grade book, where you can check which assignments you've turned in, which have been graded, and what you're still missing. Document sharing, where you can download handouts and information from your instructor. The Dropbox, where you will be turning in the majority of your homework, as well as the syllabus. This is an important document to read that outlines the expectations for each class, as well as the grading policies and other important information. Virtual classroom, this is where you'll find your live lecture, which is held once a week. The ebook link, which is where you can read your textbook. Smart Thinking, which is a writing lab resource. Shark, our academic resource page, as well as many other resources, including a week-by-week breakdown of all of your homework assignments. So you click on a week, and it'll expand to show you what homework is due that week. And then, of course, don't forget our Daily Checkpoint tab. You may need to scroll down in this module to reach it, but you want to click on Daily Checkpoint and complete that Daily Checkpoint question as the very first thing you do each day when you log into class so that you don't forget. Now, going back to your live instructor lecture, you will click on Virtual Classroom to access your weekly live instructor lecture. In case you're not able to access it at the time that it is being held, there will also be a recorded version of the lecture available. The time and date of the session, however, is different for each and every instructor, so make sure you check your instructor's announcements for the date and time of your session, because attendance is mandatory. Whether that's the live session or the recording, you do need to watch the lecture at least once every week. When you click on Virtual Classroom, it'll bring you to a page like this. You'll see the girl with the floating keyboard, the words Collaborate Classroom, and then 3 lines of text. The first line will tell you the date and time. So in this example, it's held on Monday evening at 8 p.m. Once again, you also want to note the time zone. It's 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So if you live in New York State and you're in the Eastern Standard Time, that means that this is actually going to be at 10 p.m. your time. Then underneath, you will have 2 links. The first link is for the live session, the one that will be active at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And the second link is for the recording. Obviously, the recording will not be available until after the lecture is complete and the teacher has had time to upload it. So try to make the live lecture, but if not, wait until the recording is available and watch that one instead. Now, quiz question number 3. Going back to that false start policy, wherein you receive 2 strikes for any late assignment, 1 strike for less than 4 daily checkpoints in a week, and you can be taken out of class for 3 or more strikes consecutively or cumulatively. How many strikes does it take to be removed from class? Take a moment to pause the video and then press play to move on once you've written down the question and the answer. Now, your 4 main types of homework in this class will be daily checkpoints, minimum of 4 per week, a discussion board posting, and as a note, the first post, this is a 3-part assignment, the first portion is due on Wednesday, whereas the rest of your homework is due on Saturday, as well as written papers or projects and tests or quizzes, which can be called assessments. Let's talk about posting a discussion response. This is the one that's 3 parts long and the first part is due on Wednesday. So this is usually the first homework assignment you should work on each week. We're going to click on week number 1 to expand the homework and then click on the title of the assignment in order to access the instructions and the assignment itself. So you'll read through. It will mention it needs to be 150 words for your main post, and then you'll be also doing 2 response posts. One you'll pick 2 different students in your class and you're going to leave a comment on their post. So in week 1 you have 2 different options, 2 different topics to write about. So read through and then pick which one is more interesting to you. Once you're ready to start writing your post, you're going to click on the respond button at the bottom of the instructions. It's a little green plus sign with the word respond. When you click on that button, it'll bring you to the discussion response posting module. It's a box just like this. It looks kind of like writing an email or a paper. So here, you want to make sure that you always put a descriptive title for any assignment. A good idea is always to include your first and last name as well as the title of the assignment. So you type that in the subject line, this yellow box here, and then you're going to type your post in the main body. Make sure that you use your best grammar. Of course, don't use texting languages or abbreviation, and keep it appropriate and educated. And try to stay on topic. Make sure that you read the instructions carefully so that you know what topics to cover in your response. So for your main post, you're going to type 150 words. Once you've completed that, make sure you run spell check, which is the A, B, C, and the check mark. And then when you're ready, you're going to click on the post response button to turn it in. Now, for the discussion post, you're going to have those 3 posts. Your main post, which needs to be made by Wednesday at midnight, and your 2 student response posts are due on Saturday at midnight. That main post needs to be at least 150 words, and each of the responses or the comments, think of it kind of like Facebook. If you make a post and then someone else leaves a comment on it, or if you see your friend's post and you want to leave your comment talking to them and having a conversation, you're going to have 2 of those, and they need to be at least 50 words each. Always remember to check your spelling and grammar. Now, regarding tests and quizzes. During week 1, you'll have a quiz called the Scavenger Hunt. It's very important to watch your instructor's lecture during week 1 to understand exactly how the scavenger hunt works, because we actually give you most of the answers to the scavenger hunt in the lecture. So you're going to download those questions. Your teacher gives them to you. You're going to download the questions and write down the answers as you go. Then when you're ready to take the scavenger hunt, you have all the questions and answers available to you, and you should be able to get a great score on the test. Now, Click on week 1, then click on Scavenger Hunt, and it's going to bring you to the instructions page. Here you can see what dates the test is open to you, the number of times that you can retake the test, how many attempts you have left, and then the amount of time that's available for the exam. So with the scavenger hunt, in the instructions it does mention that you go to Doc Sharing and download the Word document or the PDF with the questions, then attend the live lecture or watch the recording to get those answers. Then it tells you that the assessment consists of 25 true or false or multiple choice questions, and also talks about the fact that you can take this test twice. So if you're not happy with your score the first time, it will show you which ones you got wrong, and you can take the test again for a better score. When you're ready to begin, you click on Begin Scavenger Hunt at the bottom. Now, submitting a paper or an essay assignment, you're going to click on the week, click on the assignment title, then read and follow the instructions to complete the assignment. After you've completed it in your word processing program on your computer, make sure you save it somewhere that's easy to find. I would suggest creating a schoolwork folder right on your desktop of your computer. So once you've saved the paper, you're going to go and click on the drop box inside of your classroom. When you click on the drop box, it's going to pop up a window that gives you the following options. You're going to click on Submit Assignment in order to begin the process. Then on the basket drop-down menu, which is found at the top of the box, you're going to select the Dropbox basket that corresponds with the assignment that you are ready to turn in. So for example, the APA paper template during week 1. You would click on that. Then you can type a short note to your instructor in here. You can say, "Dear instructor so-and-so, here is my APA paper template. Thank you so much for taking the time to look at it and have a wonderful day. Keep it short, keep it friendly, and keep it professional." So think of this like a post-it note you can put on the front of your paper. So you click on the Dropbox, write a quick note, then you're going to click on the paperclip Add or Remove button to attach the paper file that you saved to this message before you submit it to your teacher. It's like getting the paper out of your backpack or your computer and turning it into the teacher. So click on the Add or Remove button right down there, right next to the paperclip. And it's going to pop up a window that looks like this. So you're going to click on the Browse button to locate that file on your computer. So click on Browse, find where you saved the file, and select it, and then you're going to click Attach File. Once that file has attached, it'll show up underneath the paperclip icon. So here is the paper right there, and if it has successfully attached and shown up under the paperclip, then click on Submit Assignment to turn it in. So, quiz question number 4. During your first class, how many homework assignments on average will you have per week? If you recall, it's going to be about 3 assignments most weeks, sometimes a little more, occasionally a little less. That's why it's important to click on each week and get familiar with the homework so that you can build that study schedule for yourself. Go ahead and pause the video, write down the question and the answer, and press play to continue. Now, some other types of assignments that you'll have during your first class are an e-portfolio, where you'll be making your own professional website through a Gmail account. If you need help with it, of course, call your student advisor. You will also be meeting and talking to the associate dean who's over your program and learning how to research using our ProQuest library. These are all important tools that will be very, very helpful to you as you complete your degree. Your textbook is actually going to be an ebook, and that can be found by clicking on the ebook link underneath Course Home in that main left menu. When you do so, it'll show you a picture of the cover of the textbook, as well as links you can click on to individually navigate each chapter. When you click on a chapter, it'll bring you to a page just like this. It's just like a regular textbook, only it's on your computer. You can zoom in, you can zoom out, you can save the chapters to your computer so that you can access them later when you're offline. You can even print pages or chapters if you want to highlight and do things like that. Also, you can access this on a Kindle or other e-reader, or even some smartphones if you have the capability to download PDFs. Smart Thinking is the next resource. Smart Thinking is a writing resource where you can submit essays for constructive feedback. In fact, you will be required to use smart thinking for an assignment during week 3 of your first class. Now, it takes 48 hours to receive feedback from smart thinking, so make sure you plan ahead on that paper. Since the paper is due on Saturday and it takes 48 hours to receive it back from smart thinking, that paper actually needs to be finished by Tuesday or Wednesday so that you have time to turn it into smart thinking, get their feedback, make the changes, and then upload the final paper as well as the smart thinking response to your Dropbox and turn it in for credit for your assignment. When you click on Smart Thinking, this is the page it'll take you to. The Writing Center, which is right in the middle of the page, is where you'll turn in your paper. Now, we've mentioned SHARC a couple times. SHARC is our Stevens-Henniger Academic Resource Center. This is the page where you can find the early admissions course, a recap of the student orientation, as well as our library resources, our tutoring center, career services, catalogs and handbooks, and more. Now, speaking of our early admissions course, our early admissions course is a resource that helps you get ready to go back to school. We have a lot of practice assignments that will help you familiarize yourself with the way that our school works, as well as getting you back in the swing of completing school assignments. So you can access our early admissions course as soon as you're officially enrolled. In fact, you can access this course as soon as you've completed this orientation. When you access the early admissions course, you'll be able to earn coins for school gear. So for each assignment that you complete, there will be a certain number of virtual coins that you will earn in your early admissions course account. Those coins can be used to purchase things like a school hoodie or even a wireless mouse to use with your school computer. You're going to complete the small assignments, which are prep work for your first course, and make sure you save them because some of those assignments are actually transferable to your first course for credit. So the student advisors will send you a link to the early admissions course in a follow-up email. But let's take a look and see what it looks like. When you click on that link, it's going to bring you to our SHARC page. The early admissions course is located on the upper left-hand side of that page. It has a little picture of a treasure map and it says early admission. The link to access that page is www.online-shc.com. So by visiting this website, it'll bring you to the page that looks like this. You can access the early admissions course by clicking on the early admissions icon. When you go to the early admissions course, you're going to click on the treasure map tab to see the different categories. They look like this. For example, the one that's highlighted here is the writing category. Then you'll click on each of these icons to access the related assignments and begin earning coins. Now, who's excited for laptops? Laptops will be issued once you have finished all of your paperwork with your financial planner, including submitting your ID documents, your financial aid paperwork, your orientation, and anything else that you need for your enrollment process. As a note, master students do not receive a laptop, only associate's and bachelor's degree students do. Also note that laptops are the property of Independence University until you graduate from your program, at which point it's yours to keep. So make sure you take good care of your laptop. It needs to get you all the way through your degree program and beyond. This means make sure that your laptop isn't exposed to extreme temperatures. Don't let the kids play with it. Make sure that it doesn't get liquid spilled on it. And above all else, make sure that you're not visiting any websites that might infect it with a virus or malware. And make sure that you're not using it for things like playing online games or doing anything else that could be risky to your computer, including downloading things. If you have any problems with your computer, our IT help desk can be reached by calling 866-888-3768. You can also call your student advisor if it's during your first month. Now, our graphic arts students will receive a MacBook Pro, and the rest of our students will all be receiving these wonderful top-of-the-line HP notebook PCs. So remember to check the syllabus at the start of each course to find out the expectations and processes for your class. You will have 4 main types of homework: daily checkpoints, complete a minimum of 4 per week, discussion posts. This is the first homework assignment you want to do every week because the first part is due on Wednesday. Then tests or quizzes and papers. And remember with your Smart Thinking paper to complete it by Tuesday so that you have time to get the feedback from Smart Thinking. So log in at least 4 days per week. Turn in all of your homework on time, especially during your first course, or you will be removed from school. So remember, 2 strikes for every late assignment. This means that it's very important to turn in every single assignment early or on time, and your student advisor is here to help you get that done. So make sure you stay in good contact with them. Then watch your instructor's lecture, either live or recorded, at least once a week, and contact your student advisor with any questions that come up. Now, don't forget to email your quiz answers for orientation credit. If you have any questions about this orientation, you can email those as well. And you're going to send the answers or any questions you have, or both, to saslc@independence.edu. In review, here are the 4 questions once again. You can press pause on the video if you need to write any of them down. And then thank you so much in conclusion for attending. Go ahead and write down these questions and email in your answers. And welcome to Independence University. We're so excited to have you.